Hi there. Today we're going to do a show and tell. This is a birthday present that I got from my girlfriend about a year and a half ago, and some of the stuff that she's left here while she's overseas. So I've got it and I can show it to you. The topic is Beni, which is a traditional Japanese makeup. You'd probably have seen it used on Geisha, where they use it as a lipstick or a rouge, but traditionally it was used by all women. I originally saw it in a Japanese magazine and decided to get some for my girlfriend for her birthday. Now the only problem with doing that is that it's only made by one company in the world. They were the first company to make it in Tokyo about 180 years ago, and now they're the last company to make it anywhere. So I had to track them down and get stuff sent down from Japan. And this is what they sent me. Okay, it comes in a nicely presented bag with a black cane box. Inside the box, these are the traditional Japanese colours of makeup: black, white and red. So of course there's some symbolism. In the box you get a mirror with a nice shot of the camera, and a makeup brush with some Japanese writing on it, and a little cushion to rest the brush on top of. Okay, the Beni itself comes in a little box, and it consists of a sake cup. Now it comes in a range of different cups. This one I think represents spring, but I'm not 100% sure. And painted on the inside, you can see it's this iridescent green colour. It's gone quite red now. This is it's a natural product and it's meant to be used within a month or two. This is now 18 months old, and I'll see if I can edit in a photo of what it looks like when it's fresh. It's really bright iridescent green. And one of the weird things about it is, depending on the light, it can look really quite gold. In a flash photo, it's really gold. Okay, and the way it works is you wet the brush, you get the Beni. So this is actually really awkward to do in front of the camera. You get the Beni there. Okay, I can do it in the monitor. See where I've just wet it and it goes red. You just melt it using the water, and you paint it on, and you get some more light on. There you go. Now it's actually quite colour fast. Once it's on, it stays on pretty well. Like it doesn't come off, and it's actually really cool like that. It's better than modern makeup. It does eventually rub off, but it's really pretty solid. And you can control the depth of colour by how much you put on. And if you keep putting lots of it on, you wind up with an iridescent green, the same as the original dried stuff. And if you're a Japanese woman, you put it on by melting your middle finger and rubbing it on your lips rather than using a brush, which apparently Japanese men find incredibly erotic. The colour comes from a flower called Safflower, which the Japanese call Benibana. The Beni that you see there comprises 1% of the flower's weight, so you need to go through a lot of safflower to get that amount of Beni. In ancient times, it was traded roughly weight for weight with gold. And just to make life harder for themselves, the safflowers are picked before dawn, so they've got dew still on them, which maximises the colour output. It's processed and dried into sort of small cakes, and then the extract's painted on the inside of the sake cups, or put in a block if you're using a lot of it. You can also use it to use as a food colouring for sweets, or as a fabric dye, which apparently is some incredible labour intensive technique that they do in the depths of winter, again because the cold affects how the colour takes to the material. Now, the place that makes it is called Isehan, and they operate in Tokyo. They do it as a cultural thing only. They run a museum dedicated to this, and it's roughly the equivalent to, say, if you were to manufacture suits of armour in modern times. There's no massive commercial demand for it, but you do it as a cultural thing. I'll include a link to them in the info box, but it's an all Japanese site, so it's pretty hard to negotiate. The place I got it through is called Edocraft, which is run by this guy, Masaru Miyajima. And he maintains the Edocraft website as a sort of catch-all English language promotional thing for traditional Japanese crafts. And he's very generously let me use photos from the site to illustrate the process. So there you have it, a crash course in ancient Japanese makeup. And if you're interested in more on it, go and have a look at the sites.